Hello again, everyone. Trevor Simlinger here from Progressive Coaching, located in Zurich, Switzerland. And today what I want to talk about is the fear of uncertainty. And this is an innate fear that we all have, this fear of uncertainty. But what is different for everyone, what is a variable that we can take control of, is how much we allow uncertainty to control our lives. It's been said that the amount of uncertainty that we can comfortably deal with, that we can comfortably handle, is in direct proportion to the quality of our lives. And I would agree with that, because stepping into uncertainty is necessary to solve problems that we have, to solve challenges in our lives. And we're always going to have challenges. Okay, that's one certainty in our life. You can be certain of that. But to solve things, when I'm with clients and we're solving challenges, one of the first things I need to do is to get the person to get brutally honest with themselves, to get to the actual root of the issue. And that requires stepping into some uncertainty. They may and probably have not ever gone there before. Okay, to get to the actual root. And then they need to face uncertainty again to actually do things differently than they've done before, because if they'd done these things, they probably would have solved their problem. So they need to be able to step into uncertainty to overcome challenges. Okay, and even think of like the comfort zone. The comfort zone is our bubble of certainty. And we can, when we expand that, we're stepping into the unknown, and you live a very limited life if you cannot deal with uncertainty. So first of all, let me explain what is happening when we feel these sensations of fear. And this can be fear associated with uncertainty. It could be a real threat. It could just be a perceived threat, like an email or a meeting or a hard conversation. So very different in today's world compared to, hundreds of thousands of years ago, where fear and fear of uncertainty itself is a survival mechanism, because uncertainty could be dangerous. Our mind has a negative bias because it's there as a survival mechanism, not as a happiness machine. But this doesn't serve us perfectly in today's modern world, where most of our needs are met, and we're not living in constant survival mode. But some people do. Some people live in constant fight, flight, or freeze response, responding to everything as a perceived threat. It's a very stressful way to live, paradoxically. So first of all, let's talk about what's going on when we feel these sensations that we call fear. So what we normally feel is like heart palpitations, heart racing, sweating, maybe a shortness of breath, maybe some weird bodily sensations, warmth and cold in the body, dizziness, for example, tense muscles. And then what happens is people start to, so they've triggered this because they've perceived a threat. They feel these sensations, and then they start to feel anxious about their sensations, which keeps us stuck in the cycle. First of all, we want these sensations to stop, so we don't do the step into uncertainty, which is what would help to reduce our intolerance for uncertainty. It's like if you never get exposed to germs, your body doesn't learn to, adapt. We get sick from anything, and it's the same with uncertainty. Okay, what we resist persists. So we resist this because of these feelings, and then we start to worry about these sensations. Oh, am I having a heart attack? I'm not breathing properly, and I feel so weird. I'm a crazy person, whatever. And then it keeps the adrenaline and cortisol pumping, basically, and keeps us trapped and creates this self-perpetuating cycle. So the first thing I want to share today is what these sensations actually are, because a little bit of awareness of that can help to reduce the fear of these sensations when you understand that they are completely normal sensations. So all that's happening is you perceived a threat, your body goes into fight, flight, or freeze, to keep it as non-technical as possible. And what these sensations are essentially is, so the heart rate is your blood is getting pumped around your body faster, ready for action. Okay, so your heart starts beating faster. Okay, your body wants to oxygenate more, so it's also ready for action. So You get these breaths that are trying to pump more and more oxygen around your body. So you get this shortness of breath. The sensations in your body is that the blood is taken away from the digestive system, the rest and digest. So it's taken away from there and is sent to other parts of the body also to prepare it for action. To the vital organs, to the heart, obviously, to the brain, but to the limbic system in the brain, not to the prefrontal cortex, which we will speak about in a moment. Basically to prepare you for fight, flight, or freeze. So that's what's going on. It's adrenaline and cortisol pumping through your body. It's nothing to actually worry about. You don't need to fear these fear sensations, because when you do, you increase and perpetuate the cycle. So that's point one, is being aware of what's actually going on in the body, what these sensations are. I mentioned the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex. So what happens when we go into a nervous state because of uncertainty or because of whatever the situation may be? Blood is pulled away from the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the part of our brain, sometimes referred to as the thinking brain. It's rational, it's logical, it can solve problems, all these things that it can focus can focus on a number of things at once. And it's the problem solving part of the brain, which is kind of what is very important in many situations when we're facing uncertainty, when it's not just a life or death situation. Okay, but what happens is we go into fight, flight, or freeze, go into survival mode, pulls blood away from the prefrontal cortex, sends it to the limbic system, and the limbic system is this fight, flight, or freeze response that I've been speaking of. It does not make such rational, logical decisions. It's more about, it's like see tiger, run, okay? See food, eat. It's all about speed of decision, because in an emergency, speed of decision can save your life. So it's very adaptive. It's what's allowed our species to survive. But evolution is slow comparatively to the technological advances that human beings have created. So it's maladaptive in most, in the office, for example, or when trying to solve a problem, or when just feeling stressed because of day-to-day life, then it becomes maladaptive because you're not accessing your prefrontal cortex, which is what is needed to solve problems. So what do we do about all this? So what we want to do is return blood to the prefrontal cortex, come back away from our sensations and our sort of panic mode and our irrational limbic system, and come back into our problem-solving, logical, calm mind. Now, so we want to fire up what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest. This is the calm, centered sort of part of the body. And what we want to do there, the quickest way to do this, believe it or not, is through breath. Okay, through breathing techniques. And this is actually used by Navy SEALs, by police officers, by athletes, emergency service workers. And the Navy SEALs actually refer to this breathing technique. It's so damn simple, but it absolutely works. They refer to this as tactical breathing. So I might refer to this tactical breathing. It sounds a bit cooler than what it essentially is diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. It's the way that babies breathe. So when you see a baby, lying in the crib there, you'll see that it breathes with its belly, not from its chest. Okay, and when you breathe from your belly, you fire up the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like the handbrake to the limbic system, to the sympathetic nervous system, which is what is responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze. You can think of the sympathetic nervous system as the gas pedal. The parasympathetic nervous system is the handbrake. And this is, we can activate this through breathing. So I'm going to show you how to do that through diaphragmatic breathing. So all you do is you're going to take deep breaths and you put your hand on your chest, and you don't want your chest to move. Put your other hand on your belly. And when you breathe in, you want your belly to expand. Okay, that means, and you want your chest to stay still, and breathe through your nostrils and breathe out through your nostrils as well. Humidifies the air, you get more oxygen content, when you breathe through your nose than through your mouth. So you breathe in for, let's say, 4 seconds, belly comes out. Hold for 3 seconds, and then breathe out for 7 seconds. And when you breathe out, you want it's your stomach going back in that is pushing the, which means your diaphragm's coming, which is pushing the air out of your nose. Okay, so you breathe in for 4 seconds, belly comes out, chest stays still the whole time. Hold for 3 seconds, and then you breathe out for longer than you breathed in. You try for 7 seconds. Breathe out slowly through the nose. And as you do that, you want your navel to be heading towards your spine. You should do that naturally because your belly's come out. Now you're letting that go and it comes back in. Can you do that for 2 minutes? It's tactical breathing, according to the Navy SEALs. They also do box breathing, but this is the simplest way, is the way that I've just shown you, because then you don't have to count that you're like a box. So you can just do the breathing. You can also, if you want, you can think of something you're grateful for, or you can concentrate on your breath, or you can just think of nothing, which is like transcendental meditation. Whatever works for you, but the breath is what calms everything. It reduces the cortisol and adrenaline response pumping through your body, calms everything down. Importantly, what it does is it brings blood back away from the limbic system towards the prefrontal cortex, where you can make better decisions. And that is why I like to refer to this as step one when we're facing fear. But in this video, I'm talking about the fear of uncertainty. We want to change our state. Okay, when we're all trapped up in our emotion, we're not thinking straight. And you have a look at children, if you've got children, and you'll see this very clearly, that you can't access them when they're in a certain state. And we're just big children, right? So we need to also come back to a state where we can think clearly. So you do this breathing exercise for 2 minutes. It changes your state back to the rational part of the brain. And then we can make better decisions about what to actually do to face our uncertainty and to overcome our uncertainty. And there's absolutely steps we can take to do that. I'm going to share that in the next video. But in this video, I just wanted to share this way of breaking our pattern. So you can use this with any fear to come back into a calmer state, breaking your pattern, changing your state. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to overcome uncertainty, what to actually do now that we're in a different state, because we don't just want to stand there all day breathing. Okay, we want to change our state quickly and do something. That's all coming up in the next video. Look forward to sharing it with you. Apart from that, please give the video a like and a comment, and to help feed the algorithm so that more people can benefit from this content. And I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Cheers.